Good afternoon, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, October 20th, 2022. And it's that time of week where I do my picks straight up and against the spread for week number 7 in the National Football League. We'll also outline the maps for all the Sunday afternoon games, plus all the announcers for each game. But before we jump into that, let's take a quick look at the standings in the NFL after 6 weeks of play. We're a third of the way through the regular season already. Man, it's gone by fast, hasn't it? All right, starting off, the NFC, or rather the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals are tied at the top, both at 3-3. And then you've got the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers, both 2-4. The Buffalo Bills lead the AFC East with a 5-1 record. In fact, that's the best record in the conference. The New York Jets are 4-2, sitting in second place, while the Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots are tied for third at 3-3. The divisional tiebreaker here would go to Miami. In the AFC South, you got the Tennessee Titans at 3-2. The Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee's next opponent, at 3-2-1. So essentially their game is for the division lead, if you will. The Jacksonville Jaguars, losers of 3 straight. They're now 2-4 and sitting in third place. And the Houston Texans are at 1-3-1. And out in the AFC West, you've got a tie for first place with both the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers sitting at 4-2. The Denver Broncos at 2-4, and the Las Vegas Raiders at 1-4. Over in the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings have the lead North Division with a 5-1 record. Then it's the Green Bay Packers at 3-3, the Chicago Bears at 2-4, and the Detroit Lions at 1-4. The NFC East is led by the NFL's only unbeaten, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles at 6-0. Not too far behind them in second place are the New York Giants at 5-1. Then the Dallas Cowboys at 4-2. And in the basement, the Washington Commanders at 2-4. You've got a tie atop the NFC South with both the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons at 3-3. Tampa Bay owns the division head-to-head tiebreaker over Atlanta. The New Orleans Saints are in third place, just a game out at 2-4. And the Carolina Panthers, owners of the league's worst record, sit at 1-5 and in the basement of the NFC South. So you have a 2-way tie for first in the NFC South. You have a 3-way tie for first in the NFC West, as the San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, and Seattle Seahawks all sit at 3-3, while the Arizona Cardinals sit alone in fourth place at 2-4. So those are your standings entering week number 7. And here are a couple of notes to tell you about the primetime games this week. Starting with tonight's game with the New Orleans Saints and Arizona Cardinals. It will stream nationwide on Prime Video, but will also be locally televised in both New Orleans and Phoenix, on WDSU in New Orleans and on KSAZ in Phoenix. And then Monday Night Football, which pits the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots, will be blacked out on ESPN in both the Boston and Chicago markets. So the game will be televised locally on WGN in Chicago and on NBC owned and operated station WBTS in Boston, also known as NBC 10 Boston. All right, that being said and done, let's jump into my Week 7 picks. And we'll start off with Thursday Night Football. The 2-4 New Orleans Saints at the 2-4 Arizona Cardinals. And the big news for the Cardinals in this game, well, there's a couple of pieces of big news. Wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown is out indefinitely with a foot injury. But that's being overshadowed by wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins making his season debut for Arizona after serving a 6-game suspension for PED use. That game is tonight at 8:15 Eastern on Prime Video. The announcers are Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. And again, the game will be locally televised on WDSU, the NBC television station in New Orleans, and here in Phoenix on KSAZ, our Fox-owned and operated station. Current point spread is Arizona -1.5, over-unders 43.5, but I'm taking the Saints to win this one 24-20. I have this game finishing just over the 43.5 points, and I'm taking the Saints against the spread at +2.5. Now it's a Sunday. We have 7 games in the early window, 4 in the late window. Kicking things off are the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals, both rocking 3-3 records. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And you can find this game on the 506sports.com page, listed in yellow. It's in the yellow on the Fox early map at 506sports.com. That's where I got all the information from the Sunday afternoon games, for at least the maps for the Sunday afternoon games, and the announcers for each game. And the point spreads and over-unders, those are courtesy of the Sports Alerts app. All right. The main Fox stations for this game are Fox-owned and operated WAGA Channel 5 in Atlanta and Fox affiliate WXIX Channel 19 in Cincinnati. Major markets getting this game include Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Louisville, Lexington, Memphis, Little Rock, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and those are the markets. The announcers for this game are Brandon Gaudin and Robert Smith. Current point spread is Cincy -6. Over-under is 47. I'm picking the Bengals to win straight up 27-23, but I'm taking the Falcons plus the 6 points to cover. All right. As for Ohio's other team, that would be the Cleveland Browns at 2-4. They take a trip to the Charm City to face Lamar Jackson and the 3-3 Baltimore Ravens. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And on the CBS single map on 506sports.com, this game's listed in green. Main stations are CBS affiliate WOIO Channel 19 in Cleveland and CBS owned and operated WJZ Channel 13 in Baltimore. And this game is pretty much being confined to much of Ohio and the DC metro area, the DC and Baltimore metro areas. The other major markets outside of Cleveland and Baltimore getting this game are Columbus, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., and Buffalo. The announcers for this game are Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. Current point spread is Baltimore -6.5, over-unders 45.5. And my trust is kind of not there for the Baltimore Ravens, given the fact that they have blown leads late, like they did last week against the Giants. But I'm putting my faith in them one more time. Hopefully they'll come through. I have the Ravens winning this game 27-20. Got this game finishing over to 45.5. And I'm taking Baltimore to cover the 6.5 points. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland covers that as the road underdog. Next up, you've got the 1-4 Detroit Lions visiting Jerry World to face the 4-2 Dallas Cowboys. And ladies and gentlemen, Dak is back after missing the last 5 games when he fractured his finger in the season opener against Tampa. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And this game is listed in red on the CBS map on 506sports.com. Main CBS stations are both owned and operated with the network. WWJ Channel 62 in Detroit and KTVT Channel 11 Fort Worth, Dallas. Major markets getting this game include Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, Austin, San Antonio, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha, Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Chicago, Grand Rapids, Detroit, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Norfolk, Richmond, Philadelphia, Boston, and Syracuse. So much of the country will be getting this game. The announcers are Jim Nance and Tony Romo. Current point spread is Dallas -7, over-unders 49. I'm taking the Cowboys to win this game 31-21 and to cover the 7 points, and I have this game finishing over the total. Off we go to our nation's capital as the 2-4 Washington Commanders play host to the 3-3 Green Bay Packers, and man, is Aaron Rodgers and company struggling right now. This is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And this game on the Fox early map on 506sports.com is listed in red. So this is basically the national game of interest in the early window on Fox. Main Fox stations for this game are affiliate WLUK Channel 11 Green Bay, and Fox owned and operated stations WITI Channel 6 in Milwaukee and WTTG Channel 5 in Washington. Major markets getting this game include Seattle, Portland, Boise, Reno, Sacramento, San Francisco, Fresno, Los Angeles, San Diego, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Tucson, Salt Lake City, Denver, Colorado Springs, Wichita, Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha, Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Madison, Chicago, Indianapolis, Nashville, Knoxville, Richmond, Norfolk, and Baltimore. The announcers for this game are Adam Amin and Daryl the Moose Johnston. Point spread in this game is Green Bay -5. Over-under is 41.5. I'm picking the Packers to win this game 24-16, although I have very little trust in this team as well. I have this game finishing just under the 41.5. And I've got Green Bay covering the 5 points. I mean, they should. Washington is a bad team. Next up is the rematch for the AFC South Division lead, as the 3-2-1 Indianapolis Colts travel down to Nashville to face the 3-2 Tennessee Titans. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map, on 506sports.com, this game is listed in orange. The main CBS stations for this game are both CBS affiliates. You have the Indianapolis simulcast of WTTV Channel 4 and WTTK Channel 29, as well as WTVF News Channel 5 in Nashville. And this game is pretty much being confined to Indiana and portions of Tennessee. There's only four other major markets besides Indianapolis and Nashville will be getting this game, including Memphis, Knoxville, Evansville, and Fort Wayne. Announcers for this game are Andrew Catalon, and James Lofton. Current point spread is Tennessee -2. Over-under is 42.5. I think the can complete the sweep. They'll win this one 26-23. I have the game finishing over 42.5, and I have the Titans at home covering the 2 points. Next, one of the biggest surprises in the NFL in 2022, the New York Football Giants. They take their 5-1 record down to Duval County to face the 2-4 Jacksonville Jaguars, who are kind of in a slump right now. Losers are 3 straight. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Looking on the Fox early window, on the Fox early map at 506sports.com, this game's listed in blue. The main Fox stations for this game are Fox owned and operated WNYU Channel 5 in New York and Fox affiliate WFOX Channel 30 in Jacksonville. Major markets getting this game outside of New York and Jacksonville include Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Philadelphia, Hartford, Syracuse, Buffalo, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. Announcers are Chris Myers and Mark Schlereth. Point spread currently is Jacksonville -3. I don't see how that is. And the over-under is 42. But the Giants are legit, folks. Danny Dimes is playing good football. Saquon Barkley's running with a purpose. And that defense, though, so solid. Give me the Giants in this one, 28-17. Take the over in the game. And I have New York as the road underdog covering the 3 points. All right. Now to the NFC South, as the 3-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers try to erase the memory of last Sunday's loss in Pittsburgh, battle the 1-5 and NFC South cellar-dwelling Carolina Panthers. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And looking on the Fox early map at 506sports.com, this game's listed in green. Main Fox stations for this one are Fox owned and operated WTVT Channel 13, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and WJZY Channel 46. That's the Fox affiliate in Charlotte. Major markets getting this game are Raleigh, Durham, Boston, Providence, and Orlando. Announcers are Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Current point spread is Tampa Bay -11, and that's the biggest point spread on the board this week. Over-under is 40.5. And hopefully Tampa Bay's offense kicks it into gear, which I suspect they will against the lowly Panthers. Give me the Bucs here, 27-14. I have this game finishing just over the 40.5. And I have the Buccaneers covering 11 points. But if Tampa Bay's offense continues to struggle, I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina covers as the home underdog. All right, that brings us to the games on the Week 7 schedule, starting off with the Houston Texans 1-3-1. Visiting the Las Vegas Raiders, 1-4. Sunday at 4:05 Eastern on CBS, and both these teams are coming off of their bye week. On the snap at 506sports.com, this game's listed in blue. Correction, this game's listed in yellow. The main CBS stations for this game are KHOU Channel 11 in Houston and KLAS Channel 8 in Las Vegas. Only 3 other major markets are getting this game: Sacramento, Reno, and Fresno. That's it. The announcers are Greg Gumbel and Adam Archuleta. All right. The current point spread is Vegas -7, over-unders 45.5. I'm taking the Raiders to win this one 24-14. Got the game going under the total. I don't have too many of these games going under the total this week. And I'm picking Las Vegas to cover the 7 points. Now, New York's other team has been a very pleasant surprise this year, and that's the New York Football Jets, taking their 4-2 record into the Mile High City to face the Denver Broncos, who right now are just a shambles. No word whether or not Russell Wilson will play. I'm kind of assuming he's not. So I'll just leave it at that. That game is Sunday at 4:05 Eastern on CBS. On the CBS map, on 506sports.com, this game is listed in blue. The main CBS stations for this game, are CBS owned and operated WCBS Channel 2 in New York and KCNC Channel 4 in Denver. Major markets outside of New York and Denver getting this game include Boise, Salt Lake City, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, Madison, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Charlotte, Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Hartford, and Albany. The announcers are Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. And now to game 2 of Fox's doubleheader, since they are the doubleheader network this week. All right, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at 4-2, fresh off of that gut-wrenching loss to the Bills, visiting the San Francisco 49ers at 3-3. They too coming off a loss to the Atlanta Falcons. And then the other game is the 3-3 Seattle Seahawks in a 3-way tie for first in the NFC West, facing off with the 4-2 Los Angeles Chargers, tied for first in the AFC West. Both games are Sunday at 4:25 Eastern on Fox. All right, and looking at the Fox late map on 506sports.com, the Chiefs and Niners are listed in red, so this is the national game of interest. The Seahawks and Chargers are listed in blue. The main Fox stations for the Chiefs and Niners are WDAF Channel 4 in Kansas City and KTVU Channel 2 in San Francisco, which is a Fox-owned and operated station. The main Fox stations for the Seahawks and Chargers are both Fox-owned and operated stations. KCPQ Channel 13 Seattle and KTTV Channel 11 in Los Angeles. And the coverage area is pretty straightforward for both games. The Chiefs and Niners will be seen in at least 90% of the country, while areas not getting that game, they'll get the Seahawks and the Chargers, and that's primarily Southern California and the Pacific Northwest. The announcers for the Chiefs-Niners game is Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson. Sorry again. While the announcers for the Seahawks and Chargers are Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez. Okay. The current point spread for the Chiefs and Niners is Kansas City minus 2.5, and the over-under is 48.5. The current point spread for the Seahawks and Chargers is LA minus 6, and the over-under at 51. And I'm picking an upset in one of these games, and that's the 49ers beating the Chiefs 28-26. I have this game finishing over the total, and I've got San Francisco covering the 2.5 points as the home underdog. And I'm picking the LA Chargers to beat the Seattle Seahawks straight up 31-27. I have this game finishing over the total as well. And I have Seattle covering the 6 points. But I'm not going to be shocked at all if the Chargers do cover. That brings us to Sunday Night Football and the 2-4 Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the 3-3 Miami Dolphins and the return of Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Sunday at 8:20 Eastern on NBC. The main NBC stations for this game are NBC affiliate WPXI Channel 11 in Pittsburgh and NBC owned and operated WTVJ Channel 6 Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Current point spread is Miami -7, over under is 45. And I'm going to take the Dolphins in Tua's return, 27-14. I have this game finishing slightly under the 45 points. And I have the Dolphins covering ATS at -7. And finally, you've got Monday Night Football with the 2-4 Chicago Bears at the 3-3 New England Patriots. And I think this is going to be the third straight start for third-string quarterback Brandon Zappe for New England. This is Monday at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Again, the game will be blacked out in the Boston and Chicago markets. So locally, the game will be televised on WGN-TV Channel 9 Chicago and on WBTS Channel 15, the NBC owned and operated station in Boston. Current point spread is New England -4. The over-under is 40. And this is my lock of the week. I battled with making this game or the Steelers-Dolphins game my lock of the week, but I decided to make this my lock of the week. I got the Patriots winning 28-13, got the game finishing over the total slightly, and I have New England covering the 4 points. So there it is, folks. My Week 7 picks straight up and against the spread, plus the maps outlining the Sunday afternoon games and the announcers for each game this week. And that is it for this week, as you are all set for week number 7 in the National Football League. We'll be back Monday or Tuesday with the new college football rankings. Both the AP and coaches polls will be released Sunday morning. That's Sunday morning West Coast time, Sunday afternoon East Coast time. So that'll come either Monday or Tuesday. I hope to get it out on Monday. And then Tuesday, we'll recap everything that happened in week 7 in the week that was. Wednesday, we'll take a look at the week 9 college football schedule and the announcers for each game. And then we'll be back in this spot next week as we take a look at my week 8 picks in the NFL. So join me next week for all of those. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.